If, like me, you've spent the better part of the past 2 weeks completely lost in the sands of Dune Awakening, but have still had trouble navigating the somewhat confusing and opaque process of fully unlocking each of the 5 character classes, then this guide is for you. Unlocking skill points is an absolute breeze, but unless you know where to look, actually being able to invest them in Awakening's various skill trees can be a problem. Here's where you can find each of the basic and advanced trainers whose quest lines will let you invest all those hard-won level ups. Before we dive into the details, here's a quick explanation on how trainers work. Each of the 5 character disciplines in Dune Awakening has 1 or more trainers that can be found throughout the Haga Basin and beyond. Finding these helpful folks will start a quest that, once completed, will allow you to buy powerful perks you'll gain every time you level up, which happens quite a lot in this game. When you choose your starting class during character creation while chatting with the very creepy old lady in the silly hat, you'll automatically unlock basic training in whichever one you choose. This means you don't have to, and in fact won't be able to, do the first trainer quest in that discipline, and instead can go straight to the advanced trainer for that one. For all the others, you'll need to find the person who can train you in each, and complete their quest before you can buy a single perk in their respective skill tree. As for which I recommend starting with, the hardest to reach are the Swordmaster and the Bene Gesserit basic trainers, as they're quite far away from the starting area. Meanwhile, the Trooper can be found in the opening hours of the adventure, so I wouldn't recommend picking that one, even though it's actually one of my favorite classes. The Mentat discipline is somewhere in the middle of those two extremes, in terms of how long you'll have to wait to unlock it via questing, so you might want to pick that one as well. As for the Planetologist, you can't pick that as your starting class, since it's mostly a support class, so you'll need to go find that one on your own. Anyway, you'll have to find all these guys, and the in-game journal does a pretty terrible job of pointing you to the places you'll need to go, with many of them quite well hidden and no markers to tell you where you can begin the next part of the quest, so here's where to find them all. The basic Trooper trainer is one of the easiest to find, as he's at the first settlement you're likely to visit all the way down in the Haga Basin South called Griffin's Reach Outpost. Look for Gavori, who will send you on a quest to kill some low-level plebs in the surrounding area and return to unlock basic training. Couldn't be more simple than that. Pro tip you'll want to remember early, Gavori has a little glowing orb over him, and this is important, because all of the trainers have one of these floating nearby, which makes it a bit easier to spot them in the wild. Keep that in mind as you hunt them down. Unfortunately, you'll need to make a fair bit more progress before you're able to unlock advanced training. The person who can level you up is named Kara Valk, who can be found in the social hub of Arakeen on the 2nd floor of the center of the map. You can get there as soon as you've got a few thousand Solari to pay someone to fly you there, which can be found in every outpost, including Griffin's Reach. Or wait all the way until you can craft an ornithopter and fly there yourself. I recommend just paying the price and flying to Kara yourself, but if you do so early on, just keep in mind that the quest objectives she gives you are in areas you're unlikely to be able to visit early on, as they're often in higher level zones with tougher enemies and harsher environments to survive. The good news is that it's pretty easy to follow along with the chores Kara sends you on, and she always hangs out in the same spot on Arakeen. So as long as you complete her tasks and return to check in with her regularly, you can fully unlock the Trooper discipline. As with the Trooper, the Planetologist is one of the disciplines you'll be able to unlock the soonest, as you can find the basic trainer, Derek Chanara, hanging out in the Haga Basin South in a structure above Imperial Testing Station number 2. He'll send you on a quest to clear the nearby testing station and return to unlock basic training. The good news is that Derek is also the advanced trainer you'll be working with throughout the rest of his quest line, and you can often return to exactly where you met him whenever you're unsure about the next step in that series of tasks. The bad news is that he moves around a ton and doesn't have markers on the map to tell you where he is exactly. But since he's obsessed with the scientific studies and buried secrets that can be found at the Imperial testing stations throughout Arrakis, you'll always find him nearby those. In order, you can find him in Imperial Testing Station number 197 in the Western Vermilius Gap, in Imperial Testing Station number 76 in the Jabal Ifrit al-Janub, I'm sure I got that pronunciation wrong, Imperial Testing Station number 29 in the Haga Rift, Imperial Testing Station number 71 in the Odam, and Imperial Testing Station number 163, also in the Odam. In each case, you'll find him hanging out near the entrance to these facilities, and he'll ask you to head in and help him out each time. In between that, he'll also send you on other errands to chat with various people, or will return back to his original location in Haga Basin South until you chat with him and advance the quest line. The first 2 times you meet him near these testing sites are fairly early on in the game, but he travels farther and farther away and ends up in some really high-level areas by the end, so I recommend working on this one slowly as you naturally advance throughout the desert. The beginner Mentat trainer can be found in a mid-game zone called the Haga Rift, within a social zone called Rift Watch. Look for a pale woman named Samin Morrow to receive your first assignment, and once you complete it and return to her, she'll unlock basic Mentat training for you. As for advanced training, you'll want to head over to the social zone of Arakeen, where we also found the Trooper Advanced Trainer, which again, you can either pay to travel to or wait until you've crafted your own ornithopter. The person you're looking for is on the ground floor of a bar, way in the back, and is named Zane DeWitt. He's a weird egghead, but his questline will unlock the rest of the Mentat abilities if you continue to do his bidding and return to him regularly in between those tasks. Unless you chose the Swordmaster as your starting class, it'll be tough to gain access to the Swordmaster skills until later in your journey, as he's located way up in the northern part of the map in a region called Jabal Ifit. Within the social area of Pinnacle Station, you'll find a man named Arno who will give you your quest. Like most social areas, you can also pay to be transported here early, but the quests in these higher level areas tend to pit you against enemies around the same level as those areas, including this one, so I don't necessarily recommend bum rushing towards this trainer at the outset. Once you've helped out Arno and gain access to the basic skills of a Swordmaster, you'll want to find your way to the other social hub of Harko Village. Tucked away back in the back part of this zone, you'll find a blind Swordmaster named Saran Varlin, who will send you on a series of quests to unlock the advanced tiers of the Swordmaster as well. Finally, there's the Bene Gesserit trainers. And as I mentioned before, the basic trainer for this class is located way out in the northern region of Shield Wall in a settlement called Helios Gate. Here, you'll find Sister Mesa, who sends you into some of the most dangerous regions of the Haga Basin to find some artifacts that will unlock the basic skill tree. I don't recommend trying to complete this thing until you feel comfortable with your build, as the enemies in this area can really pack a punch if you're not prepared for them. For the advanced training, you'll want to head to the social hub of Harko Village and seek out Jocasta Cleo, who is recognizable by her snazzy suit. Once again, she'll have some tasks for you to do that will unlock the advanced tiers of your training in her respective field, so be sure to return to her with regularity for new missions to complete that will unlock more options for the Bene Gesserit tree. And there you have it. That's how you can find the basic and advanced trainers for all 5 of Dune Awakening's skill trees. For more, check out our full review of Dune Awakening. And for everything else, stick with IGN.